Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to take a look at complimentary food and dining options available to guests cruising on the Carnival Breeze. The Carnival Breeze is one of Carnival's dream class ships and offers guests a variety of different options to choose from, with several complimentary and included dining options available on board. Before we get into the different things you can eat for free on the Carnival Breeze, please take a moment if you haven't already to subscribe to Raiji's Cruise Guide on YouTube. It would be fun to have you along for this cruise YouTube journey. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. It truly means a lot to me. And with that being said, let's go ahead and start looking at the Carnival Breeze's complimentary food and dining venues. One of the complimentary dining venues on the Carnival Breeze is the Lido Marketplace. The Lido Marketplace is the Carnival Breeze's Lido Buffet and serves all types of different complimentary food and has many options to choose from depending on the meal of the day. At breakfast time, the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace has a line for continental breakfast that serves things like pastries, has some toppings for sandwiches in case a guest wants a sandwich with pre-sliced meat or cheese, and then there's also freshly cut up fruit available, and all of that is self-service. Carnival also has a main breakfast buffet line that serves food that rotates throughout the cruise. Bacon is typically served every other day of the cruise, and then Carnival usually will serve French toast and pancakes and alternate between the two. So French toast is available one day, and then pancakes are available the next day, or vice versa, depending on the chef's choice. There's typically at least one different type of sausage available, one different type of potato available, scrambled eggs, and then some other just miscellaneous breakfast things that the chefs decided to make for the day. The Lido Marketplace also has two omelet station lines open in the morning, one in the front part of the buffet, located near the midship stairwell in the area where the Mongolian walk is open at lunch. And then another omelet station is located near the back part of the buffet across from the dessert station at lunch, which is also happens to be the same line as the deli at lunch. And so guests can pick between these omelet stations, and just from experience, the line can get really long here. So if you are wanting an omelet from the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace, I do recommend getting to the buffet early. Carnival has a menu that has some pre-selected options available. You can ask to customize your omelet, and most crew members are willing to let you, although the menu does have official options written out for you to choose from. There's a lot of different things to eat in the Carnival Breeze's buffet at breakfast time that are complimentary. However, I will say that sometimes crew members do walk around and are selling what's fresh pressed juice. This is not free. So just know that if a crew member is walking around with juice that looks like it came from the bar, it's not free, and they'll want your folio off your sail and sign card so they can bill your onboard account. However, there is a full drink station available in the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace buffet at breakfast time, and guests can self-serve free complimentary juice like orange passion guava juice. There's usually some orange juice available, apple juice. Sometimes there's iced tea available in the morning, and then there's always water, coffee, and hot chocolate, and then some things that you can put in your coffee. There's lots to choose from. At lunchtime, the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace will usually have 4 buffet lines open on sea days, and then usually 2 main buffet lines open on port of call days during the lunchtime hours. Usually the front part of the buffet will have what Carnival rotates through different food groups from different nationalities. Like one day may be Italian, one day may be Caribbean, and it just rotates depending on what the chefs want to do. The back part of the buffet typically has more of a comfort kitchen style buffet line going, and guests will usually find things like chicken tenders, mashed potatoes, macaroni, just whatever food you would think of as comfort food. Carnival rotates through what exactly is put on the buffet line. I personally really enjoy the comfort kitchen buffet line and think Carnival has some really good mashed potatoes. The Carnival Breeze also has a salad bar available during lunchtime, and typically the salad bar is the first part of each of the main buffet lines. So typically when a guest grabs a plate to eat from a buffet line, they will start by going through the salad bar and then work their way into whatever the line is serving for the day. The exact food can vary by day, so even though right now it's been Comfort Kitchen and a Chef's Choice line with different food groups and nationalities being featured, it can vary and may even vary if you're cruising during a holiday or a special event. Carnival also has a dessert station available in the buffet. There's usually desserts available in the front and the back part, although the back part of the buffet has the main dessert station. And this typically consists of things like cake, cookies, freshly cut up fruit, and sometimes some pie options. The desserts do change every day of the cruise, and typically 99% of the time you're not going to find the exact same desserts by day, except of course like the cookies and the jello and the fruit. That stuff you can usually find every day. So if you see funfetti cheesecake on one day, get it that day because you're probably not going to see it again in the buffet. The same thing goes with some Carnival favorites like key lime pie. Get it when you see it because it may not be back. And sometimes things do run out on board, so make sure you get the dessert when you see it because Carnival only makes so much, and once it's out, it's out. The Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace is open for dinner, and there's usually several complimentary options available for guests to enjoy. One question I commonly get is, does the buffet serve the same food as the main dining room? There is typically some overlap when it comes to the menu options. However, it's not a 100% overlap, and it probably is even a lower percentage than that. If you want main dining room food, you need to go to the main dining room. However, the Lido Marketplace is popular at dinner because some people don't want to dress up for dinner, some people don't want to wait and check in for dinner. Sometimes people with assigned dinner seating miss their dining time and need to go to the buffet. Other times it's because people just get back from the port of call and want to be able to just eat at their leisure. There's a lot of different reasons why people choose the buffet, and it's just a matter of their preference on the cruise. But just know if you do choose the buffet, that you're not going to get the same food as the main dining room. In the very late part of the night, Carnival typically has a late night snacks option available at the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace. Typically, guests can find things like chicken tenders, some type of pizza, hot dogs, fries, a sandwich choice, and desserts available through this late night snack option. It's only open typically an hour and a half to 2 hours, so guests need to check the Carnival Hub app or their daily fun times to see exactly what the hours of the late night snack are. All this food is complimentary to guests, so if you're up at that time and you want to join, you can go up to the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace. Let's move on from the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace. Another eatery located on Deck 10 is the Carnival Breeze's Pizzeria del Capitano. The pizzeria serves a variety of different pizza choices where guests can choose a type of pizza from the menu and the chefs will make it for them. Sometimes pizza is readily available and all you have to do is step up and order, while other times the chefs will be making it upon order, so you may have to wait. On sea days, the pizzeria line can get really long, but the Carnival Breeze's Pizzeria typically does a good job of moving that line along, and during peak times, they know exactly what types of pizza are the most popular, so the crew members will work hard behind the counter to get the line going through as quickly as possible. You can request as much pizza as you want when you order. You can get the whole pizza, you can get just a slice, you can get half a pizza. It's really up to you. Just when you get up to the counter, you order what you want, and then within a few minutes, or maybe even right away, you should have it. Carnival Breeze's Pizzeria is on Deck 10 at the back of the ship located by the Tides Bar and Tides Pool. The pizza through the Carnival Breeze's Pizzeria del Capitano is considered complimentary, so it's included in the price of your cruise. However, there are sometimes some special menu options available that do cost extra, but these are clearly marked, and so you're going to know that they're going to cost extra. Also, a question people commonly ask is the pizza that you can order through Carnival's Hub app and have delivered to you considered complimentary? It is not. The pizza delivery comes with a fee. So the pizza through the app is typically the same stuff you can get through the Pizzeria del Capitano. So if you want to save a little bit of money, walk up to Deck 10, get in line for the pizza yourself, and you can save a little bit of money, especially if it's one of the menu items that is already included in the cruise. However, I do understand if you want to have it delivered to you, that is just, it's convenient, and you can stay doing whatever activity or relaxing that you've been doing and have a nice hot meal delivered to you. On Deck 11, above the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace, is a venue called Cucina del Capitano. Cucina del Capitano is a specialty restaurant that costs extra at dinner time when it's open. However, at lunchtime, it's actually a free dining venue on board that's included in the price of your cruise. It's essentially a pasta bar at lunchtime that's free. And guests during open hours can walk upstairs to Deck 11 or take the elevator. You would take the aft elevator to get up there or the aft stairwell. And you'll go to the hostess station, let them know how many people are dining, or if you want to take something to go, and they'll give you a piece of paper that you'll fill out with what you want in your pasta bowl. It's essentially complimentary custom-made pasta bowls. You can also get Caesar salad and some bread up in Cucina del Capitano at the pasta bar for lunch. If you do choose to eat in the area for lunch, there is waitstaff available that'll bring your food to you while you're up there, as well as they'll come by and fill your cup with water or iced tea or whatever it is you want to drink. There's no reservation required for Cucina del Capitano's pasta bar at lunchtime. However, because that's completely different than the specialty dining aspect when that venue is open at dinner. It's a completely different menu and concept. Moving back down to Deck 10, the Lido deck, there's some complimentary venues even located within the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace buffet. Near the very front part of the buffet, near the midship elevator and stairwell, is what is called the Mongolian Wok. The Mongolian Wok is complimentary stir fry, where guests can make customized stir fry bowls and have a crew member behind the counter make it for them. You choose the vegetables, the meat, whatever it is you want in your stir fry, and the crew members will make it to your specifications. This is a very popular venue on board, and I've seen on sea days the line get very long. So if you do want to eat at the Carnival Breeze's Mongolian Wok, make sure you get there early or be prepared to wait in a long line. It's complimentary and is typically open every day of the cruise. On port of call days, the number of lines for it may be scaled back a little bit, but that's because there's typically less people on board. Another complimentary dining venue in the Carnival Breeze's Lido Marketplace is the Deli. The Carnival Breeze's Deli is open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., though the exact hours of operation can vary by day of the cruise, so I do recommend you check your Carnival Hub app or your Fun Times Daily onboard activity newsletter. There's lots of different things you can choose from at the Carnival Breeze's Deli, and everything is complimentary. There's a variety of hot sandwiches, cold sandwiches. There's a lot of ingredients there, so sometimes the crew members, if they're being extra generous, will let you customize your sandwich a little bit. And then for a side, you can usually get French fries or coleslaw. I personally like the Carnival Breeze's turkey and Swiss sandwich. It comes on a pretzel bun, and I think it's just the right balance of turkey, lettuce, tomato, and then that pretzel bun is just really good. Everything is complimentary there, so if you are sailing on the Carnival Breeze, I recommend you check the deli out. Since it is open at lunchtime, a little bit before the main buffet lines, I have seen usually between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. That's the time before the main lunch buffet line opens. The deli line can get really long because people are wanting to eat something, whether it's a late breakfast or an early lunch. So I do recommend if you are going to eat at the deli, you just watch the line and get there a little bit early. But typically once the lunch lines open up, the deli line will usually go down a little bit unless they're just backlogged from the number of people wanting to eat there. Another complimentary dining venue on the Carnival Breeze is the Blue Iguana Cantina. The Blue Iguana Cantina is located on several Carnival ships and is very similar on the Carnival Breeze to the other ships with the Blue Iguana Cantina. This is a complimentary dining venue that serves tacos and burritos. At breakfast time, the Blue Iguana Cantina serves breakfast tacos and breakfast burritos, and you can customize your breakfast burrito or breakfast taco with whatever toppings you want that they have available. At lunchtime, it's a similar concept with the tacos and the burritos, except at lunchtime, your taco choices typically consist of a chicken option, a beef option, and a fish option. And then at the burrito line, you can get chicken, fish, beef, and sometimes even shrimp. And there's all sorts of vegetables that you can have put on your burrito. There is a self-service toppings bar and salsa bar located outside the Blue Iguana Cantina, where you can get a variety of salsas that are in different levels of spiciness. And then there's also some toppings for the people who went through the taco line to be able to put things like lettuce, tomato, and onion on their tacos. There's also usually big stacks of watermelon available at the Blue Iguana Cantina self-serve salsa bar. Guy's Burger Joint is a complimentary venue on the Carnival Breeze's Deck 10, which is the Lido deck. This venue is inspired by Guy Fieri, and guests can choose from burgers like the Plain Jane, the Straight Up, the Ringer, Chilius Maximus, and the Pig Patty. There's all sorts of different toppings for guests to choose from at the self-service toppings bar that's available right outside the Guy's Burger Joint counter. All of these options are complimentary, and you can get fries. Carnival advertises their hand-cut fries that come with Guy's signature seasoning. I personally really like the fries, and I think they go really well with the straight-up burger, which is my favorite. It comes with super melty cheese, and then L-Top, which Carnival just abbreviated lettuce, tomato, onion, and pickle. and then donkey sauce, which is, Carnival calls it a secret sauce. It kind of reminds me of mayonnaise a little bit, although I think it has something else in it besides just mayonnaise. But it's my go-to, and I'll typically eat one every time it's Cozumel Day on the ship for lunch. It's all complimentary, and although it's not open all the way at dinner, if you do want to eat Guy's Burger Joint for dinner, you need to look at what time it closes, because you may be able to get in and eat it before it closes in the early evening at the early part of dinner time. The Carnival Breeze has 2 main dining rooms on board. The midship main dining room is called the Sapphire Dining Room and is located on decks 3 and 4, right outside the atrium area. The aft dining room on the ship is known as the Blush Dining Room and is located on decks 3 and 4 at the very back of the ship. The Carnival Breeze's Blush Dining Room is typically used for things like breakfast on sea days, which is also the sea day brunch. And then on port of call days, there is an open seating breakfast available in the Blush restaurant, typically on the deck 3 level. The Blush Dining Room is also used in the middle of the afternoon on sea days to host tea time, which is typically an hour-long time where guests can enjoy free pastries and some hot tea. There are some options that you do have to pay extra for, but those are usually clearly noted or communicated. At dinner time, where you eat dinner, it will depend on what your dining selection was before the cruise. Guests can choose from your time dining, early seating, or late seating, and whatever option you choose determines your dining room. Guests with your time dining are typically going to be in the Sapphire Dining Room, and guests with early seating or late seating may get the Sapphire Dining Room, but most likely will be in the Blush Dining Room. When you have early or late seating, you eat at the same set time every night, and you have the same table and same wait staff. You may be paired with some other guests, or you may not be. It just depends on what the assignments for seating were done for the cruise and how it worked out with table spacing. The menus between the 2 options at dinner are the same. You can get the same food in both dining rooms regardless of what you chose as your dining selection. Guests at dinner can enjoy unlimited appetizers, unlimited desserts, but you can only get 2 main courses with the price of your cruise. Any additional main courses typically come with a $5 surcharge. Most of the menu items come without a price. However, at dinner, Carnival does have a section of the menu that is clearly labeled called Steakhouse Selections, and you can clearly see that there is a surcharge for purchasing those items. If you're ever in doubt if something is complimentary or not, just ask. But the main dining room experience is one that guests really enjoy on the Carnival Breeze. The Sapphire Dining Room and Blush Dining Room, there's usually a time of food, and then depending on the time, it depends on what the maitre d' wants to do. Sometimes the waiters and waitresses will dance and sing for you and perform, so the dining room can become a lively environment. There is typically one formal night on the Carnival Breeze's 4 and 5 day cruises, and this is usually the second night of the cruise unless otherwise communicated. That dress code is usually enforced to get into the dining room. I've seen some people get away with not following the dress code. However, I've also seen it get enforced to the max. So your mileage may vary, so just be prepared to follow the dress code each night of the cruise. On the non-formal nights of the cruise, it's considered cruise casual, and Carnival has clear information on their website that you can read more about what cruise casual entails. I almost forgot to mention the Carnival Breeze has a complimentary dining venue located on Deck 5 outside on the lanai called Guy's Pig Anchor BBQ. Guy's Pig Anchor BBQ serves a variety of barbecue meats and sides like pork butt, blue ribbon chicken, smoked beef, sausage, and then there's macaroni, slaw, potato salad, and collard greens and baked beans. And then there's a self-service station where you can put some sauce on your food. Guy's Pig Anchor BBQ is complimentary, and when it's open, it's typically only open at lunchtime on the first day of the cruise, and then on sea days. Carnival Breeze typically won't open Guy's Pig Anchor BBQ on port of call days. Check your Carnival Hub app or Fun Times for the exact days and times that this venue is open on your cruise. Thank you so much for listening in and hearing about the Carnival Breeze's complimentary dining venues on board. If you're going to be cruising on the Carnival Breeze soon, I hope you have a great cruise and enjoy all the food and entertainment and activities that there is to do on board. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Raiji's Cruise Guide on YouTube. It would be fun to have you along this cruise YouTube journey. Thank you to everyone who has already subscribed. Have a great day and have a great next cruise.